On, everybody. Gotta get it on. Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for joining me again. I want to welcome back to the show. Now, he's not been on the podcast before, but you remember him from my very successful and short-lived radio show, Republican Representative Richard Martin, and he's brought his wife with him.
That's right. This is Jazz Martin, my wife of 9 years.
9 years.
Nine years.
She's just a neat little gal, and I thought she's traveling with me out here to California. Why not bring her and introduce her to Adam Carolla?
The Carolla. And
is it Carolla?
Yeah. You were representative from Ohio.
Still am.
Oh, I thought you'd entered the private sector.
No, the private sector was before. I was CEO of Ohio Petroleum and Synthetics, and we were. Well, what happened was there was a drought in the Ohio River Valley one summer, and I decided the patriotic thing to do would be to contribute to the water level from my industrial complex, but not draw attention to it, because that's what patriots do.
Sure.
You don't point out, well, the liberal media got a hold of it, and you know how they like to spin things.
Yeah.
They wanted to call it pollution, and a couple of overly litigious lawyers representing the hysterical mothers of two very slightly deformed children led to me.
Why don't they accept it as a gift?
That's right. That's
exactly
right.
all kids are sort of gifts.
Yeah.
They don't have to all be perfect little Easter eggs.
We have our daughter Reagan, who's biologically our child. The other two are not, and she's not technically blind, but she wears these terrible glasses, and we've started going to events for blind children, and it's just a hoot. It's so much fun. You get to meet celebs, and
really,
it's a great gift.
It's weird though. At the event, all the handicapped spaces are taken.
Yeah, you don't see that, and it makes you angry when you go to a Costco and you have to park in the back of the place, and there's 11 empty handicapped spaces there. But when you go to a handicapped event, they're all spoken for.
No can do.
Yeah.
In the words of the great Hall & Oates, no can do I, Adam.
I can't go for that.
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, I know you're Republican through and through, and obviously
to the bone.
Barack's in the office now, and your guy didn't get in. How's it at the Martin house?
That was a tough one. Jazz and I cried in each other's arms the night of the election, because, John would have made just a real neat president, But he was a little old. I'll be honest. The first time I saw a picture of him with Sarah Palin, I thought, oh, my God, he's entered hospice. Because it was not a good pairing. But I think she would have made just a real neat vice president. She would not have come to Washington jaded by any familiarity with the political process.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's a double-edged sword, because you don't want her in the back pockets of a bunch of special interest groups.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, some understanding of how the political process works would be ideal.
I thought she brought a Dr. Quinn freshness.
Oh, really? Yeah, the medicine woman.
Yeah, and she has that thing with her hair up in the bun and the glasses.
It's like you dressed her. He dresses me, and I saw
Jazz?
he dresses me. If it weren't for him, I'd be running around town in a Raiders half shirt and a Speedo and some shoes made from tires. That's how he found me.
Yeah, so you do, because I couldn't get away with that. I don't.
Well, I don't think Jazz really has the right idea of herself, and we've struggled with that. We've seen some people.
Oh, so I mean, what you're saying is when you go to these events, for instance, for the kids with the syndromes and whatnot.
Sure.
There's photo ops. It's important that someone in your position has someone on their arm that looks appropriate.
Absolutely.
I have a boxy jacket for every day of the week.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice, neat look, and she gets it at, is it Chico?
Chico's.
Yeah.
So how many...
Whenever I wear one, I get a Diet Sunkist. Is that right?
That's right.
I do.
Oh, he pays you? That's
do.
his Diet Sunkist is his payment?
Yeah.
A lot affirmation of a good behavior.
A lot of times I'll know where she's been because there'll just be a trail of empty Diet Sunkists. And I go, oh, she's in the garage.
That's how you know where she is.
Yeah, that's how I discovered her cutting herself, actually, once.
Well,
cutting.
I used to dig holes trying to get to the Earth's mantle where Diana Ross was screaming, and you can hear her, and he doesn't believe me.
Yeah.
I called the news station, and they transferred me to sports.
Right.
And I said, devils are coming out of my eyes. He doesn't like me to talk about it.
We don't need to talk about that. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that with Adam.
Well, as long as we're talking about you two, your family, you say you have a biological daughter and a couple that
adopted.
Two adopted.
Well, she considers them adopted. They're from my first two marriages. We've got 3 kids: Ronald, Wilson, and Reagan, and just terrific kids. Ronnie's actually in rehab right now. He was.
Wow, that doesn't sound terrific.
Well, the interesting thing is he's not. He just got mixed up with the wrong crowd. It was part of a plea deal. There was some gal from the high school said that Ronnie and the other kids from the football team took liberties with her while she was passed out, which is ridiculous.
Right.
They're undefeated and she's ugly.
Right.
You know, are you telling me? You know, that's 2 and 2 is 7. That just doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, if anything, she'd be right. That she'd be on them. She's the star of the football team.
So obviously she's lying, but so he's gonna wait that out, and I think
he's in rehab
as a part of the plea deal.
Right,
but he did nothing wrong.
Right,
he did nothing wrong. It was a liberal trial.
Right. I understand. Yeah. I mean, it's probably like the Duke lacrosse thing. You know, it's really,
absolutely.
Really,
absolutely.
a lot of smoke and mirrors. Nothing really going on over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just got swept up in that.
He got swept up in it. It was an unfortunate thing, but
that's Reagan, and then
that's Ronald.
Oh, that's Ronald.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
he's
Reagan's the gal with the funny frame.
She's our little girl.
And then Wilson is
the middle boy, and he's very quiet. He likes to be left alone, and he likes to. I'll be honest. He likes to start a lot of fires.
Oh, really?
He does, and he wets his bed, and
well, that maybe one could solve the other.
You would think.
You know what I mean? I'm going to set my mattress on fire. Oh no, you're not. I'm pissing it out.
You would think.
It's the one time I said there's a fire, and you said yes, there is.
That was
starting fires. Doesn't say like. I mean. He's at home now, right?
And the neighbors tell us he tortures animals.
Who tortures animals?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that's a phase when you hold like a magnifying glass over an anthill or something like that.
It's
a little
curiosity. He took, it was the cat and the dog from next door.
Oh,
he skinned them.
He just wanted to see the inside.
That's more than an anthill.
I think he's curious, just biologically.
Yeah,
I think.
No, but some people pull the wings off a fly, but this is different.
He wore the bodies to school, and I think that was where it just really...
Yeah. The psychologist tells us that that's the triumvirate for a future serial killer, and we know that can't be true because he comes from a good family.
Yeah. Well, I listen. I don't. I'm sure he's not going to be a serial killer, but a lot of these serial killers do come from families that seem to be adjusted.
But they do, but not from families that have a 8,500 square foot home where the father makes 7 figures.
I guess so. A gated community?
Exactly. Ours is actually a double gated community.
There's 2 gates?
Yeah, just in case somebody gets by the first one.
I wonder if they know Bobby Dooley. What gated community they live in?
Bobby Dooley? I'm not aware. Is she a neat gal?
She's a delight, but Phil Hendry does a little Bobby Dooley.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, these guys aren't on the vanguard of cutting edge radio comedy. First off, they're from Ohio.
Well, the whole
representatives from Ohio.
I'll be honest with you, Adam. The whole reason we're here is we want to reach out. Jazz and I thought. We need a TV show to reach the widest swath of folks out there that are sick and need help, and that's
homosexuals.
Yeah, the homosexuals to begin
with.
And
they do not like being called homosexuals, even though they're homosexuals.
Which is,
well, wait a minute. Now you can't say fag anymore, and you can't say homo anymore.
What do you call
can't
them?
say queer anymore. We're just going to say them.
For a while, I tried sodomite. I said,
really?
Excuse me, sodomite.
Well, I mean, it's in the Bible, but I don't think you can call them. You can't tap a guy on the shoulder and say, "Pardon me, sodomite."
Well, I did.
Oh, so that didn't work.
Didn't work well at all.
Oh.
So
I took exception.
But the more I learn about homosexuality, I think they're just kind of born with it. I don't know. I don't know if we could correct it. I don't think it's something we can fix with a laser or a lecture.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Adam. I went through a phase where I thought I was homosexual. I was in France.